Imagine waking up each day knowing that a massive concrete wall not only splits your city in half but also controls every aspect of your life. This was the reality for people living in East Berlin from 1961 to 1989. During the height of the Cold War, the Berlin Wall wasn't just a barrier made of bricks and barbed wire, it was a symbol of oppression, a manifestation of a world divided by ideology. But for those trapped on the eastern side, it was more than a symbol, it was a daily, inescapable reality. Welcome back to Magister Factotum. Let's dive in. Life inside the Berlin Wall was marked by restrictions, surveillance, and a constant sense of fear. The East German government, backed by the Soviet Union, wanted total control over its citizens. Families were torn apart overnight when the wall went up. People who worked in West Berlin suddenly couldn't return to their homes in the East. Children grew up without ever knowing their grandparents, and lovers were separated by an impassable barrier. The wall wasn't just a physical divide, it created two distinct ways of living. While West Berlin enjoyed relative freedom and prosperity, East Berliners faced shortages, state propaganda, and an omnipresent secret police force, the Stasi. They monitored everything, from the letters you received to the conversations you had with your neighbors. Speaking against the regime could mean losing your job, being in prison, or worse. Paranoia set in. You never knew who you could trust. Yet, amid the bleakness, life continued, schools functioned, people worked, and friends gathered. Though always under the watchful eye of the state, some found ways to resist in small, quiet acts of defiance. Others dreamed of escaping to the west. Even though it was dangerous, many tried. Some tunneled under the wall, others swam across rivers or flew hot air balloons. Tragically, over 140 people were killed attempting to flee. The wall wasn't just concrete and barbed wire, it was a death trap for those desperate to taste freedom. If you like what you're seeing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Life in East Berlin also had moments of community and resilience. People found ways to cope, to build relationships, and maintain a sense of identity despite the oppression. Art and music became quiet forms of resistance, a way for people to express their longing for freedom without directly confronting the state. Still, the sense of being trapped, of knowing that just a few kilometers away life was different, was a heavy burden to bear. By 1989, the wall finally came down, not through war or revolution, but by the will of the people who had suffered under its shadow for nearly 30 years. The Berlin Wall may have physically divided a city, but it also united the world in the fight for freedom. The stories of those who lived inside the Berlin Wall remind us of the power of human resilience, the longing for freedom, and the profound consequences of dividing people. Even in the darkest of times, hope persists. Magister Factotum hopes you have enjoyed this video. See you next week.